Hello, the game has started. It's me to go first. Not a great rack, two Bs, U and V, but is it bad enough to change? I don't think so. I've got Bubo, which gets rid of 3 of the problem tiles. I don't think this takes an S. I think it may take an ES, but I'll hang on to my S. So, Bubo for 16. Great, I have reviews and viewers. However, Bubo not taking an S, so column 11 not available. Nothing else goes after, or nothing at all goes after Bubo. So I don't think my bingo plays at the moment. Do I have anything through the floaters? B doesn't look great. What about U? No. And O. I don't think Overwise is good, but I will check it if that's my only option. But I'm fairly confident it isn't good. Now, am I absolutely sure viewers and reviews don't play? Yeah, I think so. The V is a tricky tile to play in parallel because there are no 2-letter V words. Oh, fantastic. Opponent makes a play which does enable my bingo. And look at this, I can get the W doubled. So reviews in column 12. I think that takes a P in front. Can I play viewers for more? I don't think so. Row J is available, doesn't get doubled, but a few handy triplicates, and I'd get value from the letters already on the board. So ups is good, but nothing else, so I think this is best. Not this. Or that. But this. Oh, and what a pick, fantastic. I have Atuite with the blank as an A. Does that play? And I don't think it does. That's pretty disappointing. I would have Titubate through an A or a B. Both these Bs are blocked and no A's on the board. What about the available floaters? How about an R? It doesn't look great. E, likewise. V, no. Okay, so I may have an orphan bingo here in Atuite. Are there any other 7s? So I'm primarily looking for 7s with this rack. Not seen anything so far. Just wondering if I had a word ending ITE, would it play? And I don't think it would. Guttiest through an S. And Juttiest. Just keeping an eye on whether opponent has played. Nope. Now out as a prefix with tight. Now I do have a U for going with the Q. So quartetti through A and R. That's not going to happen. Ruttiest through an S. Now S, that would be useful because of ups. But tutty's not good. 40's unlikely. No. Okay, so what else do I need to think about? Opponent taking a while with their play, which was handy. I was able to do a lot of thinking on their time. So what about tit-upped? That would be valid, I think, through a P or a D. What about the two-letter sets on the board? UP. Okay, it couldn't begin UP. It would have to have at least one tile in front of it. Not seeing anything. BI, what if that ended bite? Nope, not seeing anything. Oh, wow, an opponent plays a wretched little three-letter play. Not providing anything. Yup only takes an S, so actuate still unplayable. Nothing goes in front of M. Yeah, and just, well, nothing playable. So how to sort this rack out? A play of tut would do that, but it's hard to play parallel to reviews because no two-letter V plays. A tob not good. Okay, well, I could play Tet for 21. This isn't the worst rack lead with the blank. But can I do any better? And is there really no bingo here? Did I dismiss this R too quickly? And what about EU as a prefix? Not seeing anything. No, not seeing anything. So, do I have anything better than Tet? What about this W? Best I can do there is white, again for 21. I could play Tum, but for a massive score sacrifice and keeping duplicate T. Gosh, I would have Vuttiest through this V if it was way over to the left. I'm going with Tet for 21. Oh wow, and the rack moves further away from a bingo, but these high-scoring tiles do have some synergy. I think whiffed is good, so I have whiffed and bit with two T's. This W of reviews has not proved useful in terms of getting rid of tiles. Again, the V hampering or eliminating parallel plays. What about this R? Can't see a way of getting a big tile doubled. And am I sure I don't have opponent changes? Am I sure I don't have a bingo here? I have wife as a prefix with hut and a blank. No. Now opponent changes, so look at this. I can totally sort the rack out, nearly totally, with whiffed. And I draw another horror show. Good grief, I dump 3 big tiles and draw 4 new ones. And I'm back with a second UV combo. So, what to do about this? I have face up through this E. Doesn't score very much. Does sort the rack out. Gets rid of everything apart from the V and the blank. And certainly any play with big tile turnover is going to be good here. Onto an L, I would have the full suffix, so cap full. But face up is the best I've seen so far. And look at this, W and F, both not particularly useful when I've got so many big tiles on my rack. Row L available, but I don't have a vowel for going underneath the W. I do have an A for going over it, and a U for going over the H. But I can't play Corf in that spot because FI is not good. I could play Corp. However, F and V is one of the worst duos in the game. But Corp is going to score reasonably well. And that's still available. Face up also still available, so this is going to be a miserable score, but look how it transforms the rack, V and blank. So face up for 13. Alternatively, I could play Corp for 26. So does the F diminish this rack by 13 points? Probably not. Now, what about the new tiles provided by opponent? And Corp takes an S, 3 S's to come, but I have this 80-point lead, so it's not disastrous if opponent bingos. $26 points. Well, I'm attracted to the points. I could play Kerf through this R. Let me consider that. That's 26. This is 18. Pav versus FV. Not a huge difference there. And I don't think I'm going to get anything out of these floaters, and I think these floaters are probably useful for me given that I have the blank. When I do have a bingo, I want to be able to play it, and floaters maximise my chance of having one. I am going with this. Well, that's not too bad. I should be able to split up F and V and leave a decent rack leave. So I have Davy on my rack. That would play through the D of Fordu. Corp has reduced the danger from row L because AW takes fewer hooks than just W. Now Davy doesn't score very much. So what can I do here? I don't think I can get rid of F, V and Y. Do I have anything with the W? I have Wavy, nice. That keeps D, E, F blank, which could become a bingo, and that stays available, superb. Now Z takes an A, I've got one. But I don't think I have anything amazing in row O. So Wavy for 39 points. Wow. Now this is looking a lot closer to a bingo. I have Fetida onto this R with the blank as a T. Do I have an alternative bingo? This doesn't feel hugely bingo-y because of the F, because of the number of vowels and their particular distribution. So, what if Fetida is blocked? And even if it's not going to score very much, so can I do better? I have the if-I'd ending. So I'm not seeing sevens here. What are the floaters? What about Y? No, how about the V? Over with DEIF. Not seeing anything there. What about an alternative bingo through the V? No. Okay, so I'm rather dependent on Fetida, but if that is blocked, I should be able to sort the rack out. Now, I also have Theodari through the R, and that gets doubled. Fantastic. That's with the blank as an A. Just looking around for any A's and R's. Nothing goes in front of Z, so I don't have Theodari through this R. I'm just wondering if it's Theodari or Foedari. Certainly one of them. I'll try and work that out before playing it. Still got the front S hook for corp. 10 minutes on opponent's clock, 14 on mine. So that's Foderi, or Fioderi. I'm sort of looking for 7s and 8s. Now double F, not terrible. Die off with an extra E. That would be the like ending through an L. Now that looks close to something. What are the floaters? R and V. Nope, not seeing anything. And Y and V. Opponent taking a while. They could have the other blank. I could be missing some bingos here. This rack does feel pretty good. That's Foderi through an A. No, so we wait and see what opponent does at the moment. I've got 2 bingos through this R. Now Z also takes an E, but I just don't think I have any 6-letter plays, apart from ones which burn the blank. So I could play Fo-Fi with the blank as an F in first place. 47 points. That's a lot. So I'd need to have to score about 30 with the F and retain the blank to not play that. I'm not seeing any 5-letter plays beginning with F, ending in E. Great, just 18 for opponents. So this is my dilemma. Foderi or Fioderi. I think Fo for 82. Yes, fantastic. And I draw a neutron. Will that play? It does play in row B, but will it be blocked? And do I have anything elsewhere? Oh, wow. Great fun. 82 points, so many more than I would have got with Fetida. Now, neutron also plays in row F, making Om and Knob. That's good. What else do I have? Now, I lead by 170. If I can get another bingo down before opponent, I'll be in a good position. So, floaters. How about the R? No. Now I would have unrotten through a T. No T. How about the V? Wow. Opponent blocks one spot, but I do have row F. That is going to set up a 9 timer. That doesn't worry me. But do I have alternatives? Well, I have neutrons. Still allowing for the 9 timer. Triple, triple. Does that score as much as row F? Well, let's have a look. So this is 72. This is 66. So row F better. Do I have anything through the G? And it could begin with G or have G in the middle. No. Okay, well, here we go. Neutron for 72. And I draw the X, which is a good scoring tile. I lead by 230. That could vanish with a triple triple. But I think if that were to occur, we would be level and I'd still have a decent shout. So I have Adax on my rack. Not seeing anything. Well, Adax and Eater. That's worthwhile. What often happens in this situation is if opponent doesn't have a triple triple, they may either open another triple triple lane, which may be possible, or they take out the spot with a non-triple triple, which would be ideal. Now, still 24 tiles left. Gosh, and a blank and an S to come. And now opponent leaves alone this spot. So do I leave it alone? Let me count the remaining vowels. 14 out of 29. Well, very balanced. But what about playing Adax? This is just going to push me even further ahead. A 250-point lead. Very tempting. I also like the idea of turning over 5 tiles. I'm creating 2 new hotspots in column 14 and column 15 for non-bingos, which I think favour me more than opponent. Plus there's column 1. I'm also getting rid of non-bingo-y tiles in the X and the duplicates. What's left isn't terrible. Goes quite well with G and the floaters in neutron. However, I did see Adax fairly quickly. Is it really best? And what's the best I could do through this N? Can I get my X doubled? 11 minutes on my clock, that's quite a lot. Not seeing anything great through this N. XU is good. Not seeing anything great in row E. Yeah, I am going with Adax for 34. Wow, I draw the Q, but the rest of the rack pretty bingo-y. I have aliquot through the U of neutron, not as a bingo, but it massively expedites the end of the game. And would leave me with just an R, 6 minutes on opponent's clock. So, do I have anything other than aliquot? What about a play through the A? I have Talak in column 14. That's interesting. And I have Oxtail in column 15, retaining the Q. Now I do have the I on my rack, so I have Chi and, wow, Chin through this N, but not getting tripled. Where else can my Q play? I have Cat on my rack, so I have Cat above Foderi. Great, I have a ton of options, so having the Q is not a problem. I can definitely burn it next go. And whatever I'm left with is going to be bingo-y, so I'm in a super strong position, especially with this massive 250-point lead. I have Trank through the N. Again, missing out on getting doubled. So, is there a bingo through the U? Not that I can see. Any other U's available? No. So it's an N for Trank. I think it's just the N of neutron that's available for that. Cat. 39 points. Wow. That's likely to be best. Oxtail. 42, but retaining the Q. No U's to come. But Oxtail would take out pretty much all of the danger from columns 14 and 15. A lot of I's to come. And a couple of N's at the moment for Chin, should I draw one. And I do have the option of just playing Chin, keeping ALORT if I really wanted to go for another bingo. The remaining tiles are pretty bingo-y. just the J that isn't. So is opponent lining up a triple. Through an M, I would have Korma. One M to come and the other not available. Great, this is the scenario I was describing earlier where opponent takes out a spot, which is dangerous for me. Now aliquot remains available. Let me see what this scores. 13 tiles to come. This is 34 points and it burns the queue. Doesn't provide anything great. Yeah, and given how bingo the remaining tiles are, I'm minded to go with this. Oh wow, and I don't draw a bingo-y selection. That's irksome. But I do have an H which can go above the A of Adax. Do I have a 5-letter or 6-letter H play in that spot? Okay, great. Well, just 80 points for opponent, so I still lead by nearly 200. Bag is empty. Opponent's got 7 tiles. Would have a bingo through an N, jointing, or through an S, jingoist. Neither of those are available, so opponent isn't going out. I need to go out in 2. Not seeing anything through the X. So I've got Ha here for 35. Am I going to go out with what I'm left with? Na is good, but Nara isn't. Lawn only takes S and Y. So that's 35. I can get more points by doing this. But do I have 2 outs with what I've got? Do I even have 1 out? I would have reran or rerun through an A or a U, but neither in the right position. Wow, 9 minutes on my clock. What a luxury. So where else is good for my H? What about through this A? I have Ara on my rack. Which would leave EN, and I would definitely be going out with that. So I do have that down here. Oh, well, that's setting up joint for opponent, and the score is way too humble. Now, what about Hera? I think this is good, and surely I'm going out with Anna. I am. This is 32 points. Slight doubt about it being good. I'm not setting up anything huge for the J. Let's see if this stays on. And it doesn't. Ouch. But is there something else? 8 minutes on my clock. Not seeing anything, but surely there are some other H spots on the board. Vihara with an I. Nothing through the X. I have Har on my rack, H-A-A-R. Gosh, I was not expecting this final rack to be as tricky as it is. Let me come back to this. 35 points is a lot. Is there really nowhere for reran? I'm going with this for the points. And And if opponent does play his J, I may be able to score off that. 34 points, so my A can go underneath the J. I would have earner through an E. Do I have anything through the O? No. How about the R? No. D would have to be in second spot. How about the E? No. And I think Re-Ran and Na are the only two fives, and I don't think either plays. Is opponent going out with TO? I think they probably are. Oh wow, I have Na here, so I could have played Aha last turn and had this as an outplay. Okay, that's remiss, especially with 6 minutes to go, but it doesn't alter the outcome of the game. And the final score, 319 for opponent, 502 for me, a winning margin of 183 points, so a huge win. Let's see what I missed. Wow, what a game. Big score. So it was me to go first. I had Bubo, and I like that. Opponent plays Pike. And look at this, fantastic start with reviews. Totally turned around that opening rack horror show of BBUV. And I have an 80-point lead. Opponent plays Moy. Missed bingo. Tutties is good. Good grief. I don't recognise that word at all. This is Void Challenge, so if I even had the slenderest idea that it might be good, I should have tried it. But it is good, and I didn't. So I played Tet instead for 21. And retaining the blank, which is worth 25 to 30, so Tet is actually a 50-point play, so I'm sacrificing about 20 points there. Now, a lot of vowels for opponent. Changes. And I have whiffed for 34, which is fine. Opponent plays for do. And here we go. So, all these rack leaves look awful. What do? I play Corp for 26, I see, in last spot here. Capful, B10. Oh, and previews. Okay, that's nice for 52. May have been worth doing. Looks similar to Corp in terms of score and rack leave. Corp for 26 versus Pav for 32. Yeah, I think CFU probably better than FV. Where's this? B12. Let me just go back. So I do have a P for previews, so Pav may have been worth doing, but Pav does take an E and an S after it, so I don't think Corp is terrible. Opponent's rack plays Zidar. Now I have Wavy, which sorts the rack out nicely. Wow, this looks jolly close to a bingo, and maybe this is one of the plays opponents spent their time looking for one, but there is none, and they play Clue. And now I have this rack, and here we go. Faux Dairy for 82, and Fettered are the only other bingo, so delighted to spot that. And that really gave me a good lead. 170 points is about 3 bingos, and opponent's got no vowels, so well done to opponent for staying to the end. Plays Gloss, and here we go. Piling on the misery to opponent with Neutron, and Neutron's the only other bingo. Opponent's rack looking a bit better, but no bingo. Plays Lawn. And I have Adax for 34, which looks fine. Wow, this looks close. No triple, but there is Rain's Men through the N. Miss Enter through the T of Neutron, and Regimens through the G. So a choice of bingos there. And opponent plays minor, so a missed bingo. Now, the game, I think, was over at this point, given that the triple lane has been taken out. I play aliquot for 34. Possibly cat would have been better, but lawyer, not a fabulous rack leave. And opponent had a good rack, so I am taking out a couple of useful floaters. Not enough to stop opponent from bingoing with greasing. Could have got 6 more points. F14. 9 letter play through V and A. Navigates. Now, here we go. So, aha, I think is the play I should have made with the Nar outplay available. But I played just HA. Opponent plays jiving. And now no out for me. What do I do? Nar for 14, but L13. Gosh, ANE, Axhan, and Dar would have been better. And finally, opponent gets the maximum score of 15. So, wow, what a game. Absolutely amazing stuff. I had a very grim opening rack. Not bad enough to change, but it looked like it may be a bit of a slog. However, fortunes changed immediately and I bingoed on my second move and then just continued to score steadily, getting a couple of further bingos down with Foderi and Neutron. So I was able to pull away and establish a really big lead, which opponent couldn't do anything about. So super exciting stuff and absolutely delighted to win today. This is the day after the Times National Crossword Championship and I finished 3rd in that, which is the highest I've ever finished, and it was an absolutely amazing day. The over 100 competitors, 3 puzzles in an hour, top 60 go through to a similar session in the afternoon, and the top 3 from those 60 then go into a final single puzzle shootout, and I was in 3rd place in the afternoon session, 3rd out of 60, so I was in that final, and the puzzle was absolutely brutal, and I was 3rd out of 3, but no disgrace, I feel, and I'm delighted to have done as well as I did. But today I am still in recovery mode from yesterday. It's absolutely exhausting. The level of concentration is immense. There is no let up within that 60-minute period. You are 100% concentrating, and you know that a single error is just going to wipe you out of the competition. You had to be perfect in the morning session, perfect in the afternoon session to have any hope of being in the top 3. I managed that, and I felt that I'd left all of my energy on the table at the end of the afternoon session, and I was really surprised when my name was read out, because I am not one of the fastest solvers. So delighted to have made the top 3 and an amazing day out, but pretty well hungover, not because of drinking any alcohol, but just from mental exhaustion. So I entered this game with a certain amount of trepidation, but as it happens, it's turned out okay. So many thanks to opponent for a good game. I hope you enjoyed watching that game. Like, comment and subscribe, and I will see you next time.